there! Welcome back to Beauty Bee and to a budget beauty video. In this one, I'm going to be talking specifically about how to get started in makeup without spending a huge amount of money. I think that it's important to note, even though this may be just common sense to most people because of some messaging within the beauty community, that the best way to save money is to just not buy a lot of stuff. Figure out what you are trying to achieve with your makeup. Are you trying to play up your eyes a little bit more? Then maybe you want to get like a mascara and an eyeliner and call it good. If you're trying to cover up acne, maybe you want foundation, concealer, powder, and maybe a little blush or bronzer to add some dimension back to your face after those products. Buy what you need to achieve the look you're going for, and then let it be, and you will have saved so much more money than if you did get a great sale on eyeshadow that you're not really going to use. Actually, before we get into some more specific tips, let's talk about a couple more general reasons you don't need as much or as expensive of things as you might think. Most makeup is serviceable for most people. Yes, the $129 Natasha Denona palette might be stunning and incredibly pigmented, etc., but first of all, pigment isn't necessarily your friend, especially when you're starting out. And two, if you layer up a decent quality drugstore shadow, you can probably get a very similar effect, and you won't be taking the plunge of buying a piece of very expensive makeup that you really have no way of knowing if you will be using for the very long term or if this is a passing interest. And there's nothing wrong with that. Another thing to know is that makeup doesn't run out quickly. I mean, take a look at this blush. This is a mini. I have owned this for 2.5 years, and I've been using it probably 4 to 5 days a week for the past year and a half, and it is not gone. I probably have 9 months left in this, maybe even more. So you don't need to have a lot on hand at one point. If you try on a lipstick and it is beautiful on you and you love it, you don't immediately need to go out and buy a second one. Like, you've got probably about 3 months of everyday wear, maybe more if you don't reapply. And when you get to that 2.5 month mark, you can either repurchase, or if it's no longer available, you can go look at Temptalia or something and find a very similar format and color and finish in a different brand. Find something new that you might also love. So now that we're probably, 5 minutes into this video, let's finally get into some tips. The first is that drugstore brands tend to vary somewhat in price by the retailer that you're shopping at. In general, so not as a rule, but in my experience, what I have found is that sales at the drugstore, so Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, are generally the best prices that you'll be able to find. Right after that would be Walmart's regular pricing, and then Target's regular pricing. I don't know why, but Walmart tends to be a little bit cheaper than Target. And then most expensive generally are Ulta and those traditional drugstores that we talked about earlier at regular price. And the difference can be pretty big. I know that the Revlon Super Lustrous lipsticks that I quite like are usually around $8 regular price at Ulta. However, they're $4.50 regular price at Target. And speaking of retailers, often you will find that for the lower priced drugstore brands. So specifically, I'm thinking about Wet n Wild and e.l.f., though I've found this to be true for quite a few different drugstore brands. Often the sales are better and the free shipping minimum is lower on the brand's own website than you will find at, Target, Ulta, etc. For example, the free shipping threshold at e.l.f. recently has been $15. I think it's been $10 for Wet n Wild, or $15. It seems to vary a little bit for that particular site. So if you're interested in a couple of products from each particular brand, their website may be a great place to start looking. Number 3, if you are shopping at a drugstore, make sure that you have joined their loyalty program if they have one. For example, at Walgreens, you cannot access their sale prices unless you've joined their loyalty program. Additionally, at a lot of these retailers, you can save coupons directly to your loyalty account. Tip number 4, figure out when your favorite store clears out their beauty section. I know that my local Target, I think maybe most to all Targets, because I've noticed this a few different places, tend to largely clear out their beauty section in January. So if I am looking for, a peach blush, let's say, I will go into Target in January and likely be able to find a very good deal if I am not particularly stuck on a individual brand or a particular product. If I am looking for, I don't know, the Revlon bright peach blush with golden shimmer, maybe I won't have as much luck. If I just am looking for a peach blush and I have some flexibility about brand, etc., I may be able to score a really good deal. Number 5, a lot of products can multitask. I think that in almost any of these videos, you'll hear how you can use lipstick as cream blush, eyeshadow as any powder product you would use on your face, and vice versa. However, one that I don't hear a ton is that you can use mascara as eyeliner. Let me show you. I'm not going to put it on my eyes, but I mean, think about it. It is safe for the eye area, obviously, and you just get a little bit on your angled liner brush, and there you are. I actually really like the wear time with this particular mascara doing this. Yes, I would probably clean off my brush a little bit. I don't want Sharpie line, but let's show again. I mean, you can get a much thinner, more precise line with neater application. And you've saved yourself the price of a gel liner, so that's always exciting. Now let's talk about sets in general. Sets can be worthwhile if you are going to use everything in that set. However, a lot of the time you won't. You'll, try out a couple of the products and be like, not for me. Maybe I can make it work, but I don't love it. I think the good exception to this is with brushes. If you're going to buy more than 2 or 3 brushes, I would look into purchasing a brush set. And I know that e.l.f., Wet n Wild, BH Cosmetics, and then if you go up, a half a step in price, Morphe tend to have some pretty nice brush sets for the $20-ish range. And that's about how much you're going to spend if you buy more than 3 brushes from any of those brands, especially if you are buying face brushes, because those add up so fast. Okay, all right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this enjoyable and or helpful. And if you did, I hope you'll consider liking and subscribing. Thanks again, and I'm looking forward to next time. Bye!